get this thing going. All right, we are recording. So guys, this is our random Friday night Zoom. We are going to start putting Zooms back on the schedule where they are happening on a regular basis. This was one that was just kind of thrown together last night because of a status that I made, just asking, who feels like they would like just some coaching on people pleasing. That is a topic that I have struggled with so much. Now, before I get into this, I have this really cool quiz that I found that I actually took. I gave it to my mom. I gave it to my daughter. It's just this really cool quiz over people pleasing, and you can take it and kind of see where your score is on, are you like a severe people pleaser? Are you, could it possibly become a problem? So I'm going to put the link in chat. If anybody has not signed up for the emails, let me see if I can spell right. Okay, so that's the link to sign up for the email. If you're already signed up, you'll automatically get it. That quiz is going out probably tomorrow morning just to give everyone time to sign up. And then also the recording of this will go out in the email as well. So if you have team members that you want to watch it, because in network marketing, I don't know if you've ever heard this, but network marketing is truly self-development with a compensation plan. As soon as you believe that you can have it, as soon as you believe you deserve it, as soon as you believe like you're worthy of it, it's done. As soon as you get out of your own way, it's done. So whenever you truly understand, if you can level up in your mindset and then you can match it with the action that, the disciplined actions that you need to take anyways, your success is right there. So anyways, that's why this topic, it is more of a mindset topic, but I will get those emailed out. 14-day challenge starts tomorrow. If you have not registered for that, it starts Sunday. 14-day challenge starts Sunday. We have until tomorrow night at midnight to get everyone registered for it. Super excited about that. We have a special coach coming in that's going to talk just on stories. So I'm hyped about that. Stories are where so much is going right now. People like just those quick and fast. It's like adults have ADD, and so they can't sit still for longer than 5 minutes. I think that's why TikTok has just really taken off, because they're like, 30-second clip, and then I get to go to the next one, and then the next one, and the next one. It just fuels our ADD because we just can't sit still and take in too much. Speaking of, this Zoom is going to be a short Zoom. I guess this is a good time to say that. It's going to be a straight to the point Zoom. I know I was a teacher for a couple of years, and my students, I knew how long I could keep their attention, and adults are not that much different. So with all that being said, let's just dive right into it. Are you a people pleaser? I'm pretty sure you would not be on this Zoom if you have not struggled with being a people pleaser at some point in your life. I call myself a recovering people pleaser. It is something that I struggled with, oh my gosh, for so many years. For years, I let the opinions and judgment from others just completely rule my life, needing approval from other people. And it really is crazy how fast it can happen. So with that being said, let me try to pull up. Let's see if I can get it on here. I'm going to share my screen and show you guys. Let's see. I have so many tabs pulled up. Oh, there it is, full screen. Okay. Dismiss. Is it not going to let me do view full screen? This view? No. This. Hold on. If it doesn't, we'll just make it work. Oh well, it's okay. Okay, so the 10 commandments of people pleasing. What I want you to do is, as I read over these, if you can relate to any of them, just keep them in mind. I may even have you get a screenshot of this before it's all said and done, because we're going to circle back around to it. But these are kind of the 10 commandments of people pleasing. You have, I should always do what others want, expect, or need from me. Have you ever felt that way? Or number 2, I should take care of everyone around me, whether they ask for it or not. This is going to bug me so bad. I'm sure I have somebody technical on the other end that's like, Kayla, just click here. Oh, well, it's okay. I should take care of everyone around me, whether they ask for help or not. I should always listen to everyone's problems and try my best to solve them. Sometimes a people pleaser, you can get involved in so many other people's problems that it completely drains you. Or I should always be nice and never hurt anyone's feelings. I want you to pay attention to that word, nice. If you are a people pleaser, that is a word that you can get so caught up on. Just being nice. just wanting to be nice, wanting to be perceived as nice, being scared that if you're not nice, then you will completely lose or be rejected or, something like that. So that nice is really a big word that you're probably going to hear quite a bit tonight. I should always put other people first before me. I should never say no to anyone who needs or requests something of me. There are people on here, I can guarantee you, that truly feel anxiety or guilt every single time they say no. And maybe you've heard before that you have to learn how to say no. Like, you have to say no to some things sometimes, but do you actually do it? We have to say no sometimes. Number 7, I should never disappoint anyone or let others down in any way. Just listen to how much weight some of these carry. Like, I remember so many of them. Where am I? Number 8, I should always be happy and upbeat and never show any negative feelings towards others. Number 9, I should always try to please other people and make them happy. Number 10, I should try to never burden others with my own needs or problems. That one, if that is one that you can relate to, I want you to understand that keeping things in is the worst thing you could ever do. I try to tell people all the time, like, if you are keeping stuff in your head, there's no way we can work on it. Like, if you want to work on mindset, I've got to get it out of your mind. And as we go through the 14-day challenge, I have told you guys the 14-day challenge, yes, it's network marketing, like geared there. You're going to be getting strategies and tips and challenges and prizes, but there is a mindset part of that too, because I just truly believe network marketing is self-development with a comp plan. I truly believe you are not going to see success if we don't cover mindset and self-development. And that one, I should always, or wait, which one was it? That I should try to never burden others with my own needs or problems. That's you keeping everything in. And we have got to start getting stuff out. You've got to understand that letting people help you and stuff like that. Anyways, we'll cover it. And then there really is a hidden 11th commandment as well. I should fulfill all of these should and shouldn't expectations of myself completely and perfectly. Perfectionism is another thing that usually plays a role in being a people pleaser. Perfectionism is a nasty slope that you can get really stuck in. That's a whole different Zoom. I'm going to stop share just for a second. I'm going to come back to it here in a minute. But if you could relate to any of those, yeah. Krista said, so how about if you feel all of these? Yeah. And I'm so happy that you guys are being honest in chat, because one of the biggest things to know is, like, you're not alone. Being a people pleaser is so much more common than you can even realize. And I think just like with most things in mindset, it starts from our childhood. As a child, you're taught really, really quick, being nice is good, and if you're not nice, then you normally get punished. And, I was reading a story about this little girl. Her mom was diagnosed with cancer, and she was like 9, and she can vividly remember the doctors telling them, try not to stress your mom out during this time. She's fighting cancer. Like, try to keep things smooth and going good. Well, the little girl went to school and got in trouble at school, and the school contacted her parents, and the parents were like, oh my gosh, we raised you to be this nice, good kid. Why would you do this? I mean, she should have gotten in trouble. Like, she should have, but they grounded her for a week. Okay, all of that's okay. But the message, like, it's not like they were bad parents. That's not what I'm saying. But the message that was perceived by her as a 9-year-old little girl was, my mom has cancer because I was bad. My mom has cancer because I wasn't nice. My mom has cancer because, and that's whenever she went through therapy years later, that's what she kind of started peeling back those layers and seeing. And that's why mindset, to me, it dives so much into your childhood, because for so many of us, we're walking around as adults with still systems that were put into place as a child. Like, we're walking around on autopilot with these systems that were created and built when we were 8 or 9. We talk about, being scared to fall. In network marketing, that's one of the biggest things that you have to do is, you're going to fall, but you got to get back up. You're going to get back up every single time. But some of that stems from childhood as well. Anyways, let me stay on point here. But it comes back to our childhood. As an adult, it's easy to fall into those childhood systems and just walk around on that autopilot. We can intentionally rewrite our systems, but here's the kind of the direction I want to go with this, because some of you on here, You may be a people pleaser and you're like, but why would I want to rewrite my systems? Like, why is being a people pleaser such a bad thing? Why is wanting to be nice such a bad thing? Yes, Theo, like weight issue, like there is so much when we start diving into mindset and childhood, so much that you start peeling back. I want to talk to you why people pleasing can become such an issue. Honestly, as a people pleaser, your emotional tuning dials are jammed on the frequency of what you believe other people want or expect of you. Just take that in for a second. Your emotions are completely being tuned in on the frequency of what other people want and expect of you. Can you see how that's going to cause an issue? The dilemma that you face is staying so finely tuned to the need of others that you often turn a deaf ear to your own inner voice that may be trying to protect you from overextending yourself and from operating against your own self-interests. How many of you know, like you know, that you're so in tune with what everybody else wants or needs that you have completely forgot to take care of yourself? Guys, we talk about this all the time. You cannot do life on empty. You cannot, like you can't. There's no getting around that. You're going to snap, you're going to yell, you're going to have bad coping methods. You're like, the list goes on. You have to take care of you if you're ever going to take care of others. But being a people pleaser, it's so easy to get into that trap of, you're so in tune with everyone else that you just naturally put yourself on the back burner. Honestly, a people pleaser, you have to intentionally take care of yourself because it does not come natural. You have to intentionally listen for your own inner voice and your self-interest to take care of you. In fact, even your self-esteem can become all tied up with how much you do for others and how successful you are at pleasing them. There are people pleasers that I've seen in network marketing specifically that want to hear thank you and way to go, and they almost take that to the point of not even experiencing their own success because they're doing so much for so many other people. Some of you that'll make sense for, some of you it won't. It happens in life every single day. But their self-esteem is just tied up with how much they can do and how successful they are at pleasing other people. They believe that fulfilling the needs of others is the answer to gain love and self-worth and for protection from abandonment and rejection. If you have ever dealt with abandonment or rejection, there's usually a big tie right there. Because as a people pleaser, you think, well, as long as, I please them, then surely they will not abandon me and surely they will not reject me. As a people pleaser, sometimes they think that if I'm nice enough, then bad things won't happen to me. But in reality, bad things happen to nice people every single day. Bad things happen to good people every single day. And that's just something we have to accept. Like there's so many rules and laws that we adopt from our childhood and we bring with them into adulthood. And one of them actually is, well, as long as I'm nice, then maybe that bad thing won't happen to me. And that's just not true. So driven by the excessive need to gain the approval of others, they will strive to do so at almost any cost to them. But this approval addiction can paralyze you. Has anyone ever suffered with approval addiction? Like, can we please go back to 7th grade, junior high? Like approval addiction at its like finest. That's whenever I felt like I needed to get the biggest approval from my peers. So many of my systems that were running my life as a 25-year-old adult came from 7th grade, junior high. 100% came from 7th grade, junior high. I was still worried about how people judged me. I was still worried about how they perceived me. I was worried about being approved by them. That approval addiction is real. And some of you, what's really sad is for some of you 7th grade was awful. For some of you on here, I could truly ask you, who are you? Like, who are you? What makes you happy? What gets you excited? What do you love? Who are you? And some of you have no idea how to answer that question because you have been living this life for approval of others and just living this life of what makes others around you happy. And you have lost yourself in the process. You've lost that authentic human being with so many different facets in the process. Like, it's time to get back to that. But that approval addiction, it can absolutely paralyze you. So for example, when you feel pulled in more than one direction, trying to meet the needs of several people, your fear of disapproval can freeze you up. It's basically like you saying, well, who should I please? Or how should I choose? Or what if I mess up and I don't please anyone? Has anyone ever been in that predicament? Because I have. And it's a really messed up predicament on, just completely feeling paralyzed on what you should do. Yeah, Tracy, we worry about what others think. And the crazy part is like the more self-development and mindset that you do, you're going to find out pretty quickly, nobody really thinks of you that much. Like, nobody. It's really weird once you finally tap into that and you're like, nobody really thinks of you that much. They all are so worried about themselves. They're also worried about how others are perceiving them. It's like this secret magic that you can tap into as soon as you realize everybody's really just worried about themselves. They're not worried about you. So just why not be you to the fullest and live your life? We only get one anyways. People pleasing is typically driven by emotional fears. So if you feel like you are a people pleaser, these are some of the fears that maybe you've experienced. Fear of rejection, which is huge. You can start seeing some of these, like fear of rejection is a big one that plays a role in network marketing. I want you to take this in because as you grow your teams and as you bring people on your team and they're like, well, I'm scared to message people, or I'm scared to ask people, or I'm scared to post, or I'm scared to talk to people, and that fear of rejection is there, I need you to understand it's a much underlying issue. This is why mindset and self-development is such a big role, because if you can help them tap into that and see that growth, they're going to see the growth in their business as well. So fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, that is insane how much that plays a role in adults. Like, absolutely insane, whether they are abandoned by their parents, abandoned by a spouse. But that fear of abandonment is huge. Fear of conflict. There are some people that are scared to death to ruffle the feathers. They're scared to death of conflict for so many different reasons. People that have a fear of conflict, that doesn't mean like they came from an abusive home or nobody really knew how to argue correctly. Fear of conflict can come from so many different areas, but that's one. Fear of being alone. And another one is fear of anger. For a people pleaser, you almost have a fear of confrontation and conflict, with that fear of anger being in there. It could be a couple of different ways. It could be that you're scared of showing your anger. You're scared, you don't know how to show whenever you get angry, because you're nervous of how you'll be perceived by others, or you're nervous about making someone else angry because then what if they leave you? What if they aren't happy with you? And so it's driven by those fears typically. The thing is those fears stop you from being your authentic self at times, which leads to nagging doubts and insecurities and lingering fears. So it's not like it helps. It just creates those fears staying right there at the surface. Yeah, Jordan, I promise you're not alone. She said, I fear of being alone. Yeah, Brenda said, I'm always trying to keep the peace. Yeah, welcome to the people pleaser Zoom. Like, that is, it truly is what we find ourselves, we put all this pressure on us. And my gosh, can you just imagine for 2 seconds, if you took that weight off your shoulders, how does that feel? Like, how does it feel when that weight just comes off? And it's like, what if I didn't worry about that? What if I didn't, feel like I needed, put all that pressure on me? Theo said, I was alone and I liked it. Yeah, that can happen. Being accepted and getting approval from others always will seem just out of reach. For a people pleaser, it just will. I'm going to circle back around to this, but I want you to understand that everyone's never going to like you. That was one of my biggest breakthrough moments is, and something I'll end this with at the very end is telling you the right people will always love you. The right people will love you, but that's not everyone. Everyone's not the right people. And as a people pleaser, that killed me. Like, to think that someone's upset with me, to think that like somebody may not like me. I was like, oh my gosh, what did I do? How do I need to fix it? How do I need to change myself so that way they like me? Maybe I talk too much. Maybe I have a Southern accent. Maybe, you fill in the blank. And I would seriously it would keep me up at night trying to figure out what's wrong with me that they don't like me, instead of just being like, you know what? Everybody's not going to like me, but the right people will love me. And I want you to adopt that belief so much. You may even have heard yourself say before, after everything I've done for everyone else, nobody is there for me. I've been so nice to everyone and people just take me for granted. That is a sentence that I've heard before, and it's so easy to fall into that. And then you have this resentment and this anger, and it can truly cause divides in relationships because you were a people pleaser and you did all this nice stuff to you and they still hurt you. And instead of forgiving them, you're just like, well, they must hate me, or, whatever the case may be. It really can be a downward spiral. Other issues that you may have seen, we've talked about a little bit. Perfectionism is one of them. Another one that kind of falls into that is doing it all yourself, feeling like you have to do everything. If you fall into that trap, it's hard for you to delegate responsibility to other people. If you put all that stress on you, and I can see with some of the stuff in chat, if you put all the stress on you of getting things done and you do not delegate responsibilities to other people, that can be a really messy situation. You are going to be so on edge. The thing is like, you'll fall into this weird trap where you're like, nobody helps me. Nobody wants to, why won't anyone else pick up some slack? But then you also will not let them pick up any slack. You won't let them help you because you're a perfectionist. It's just this really weird spiral. But if you've ever been in it, then you understand it. Another one, resentment towards your spouse for not treating you the same way or being a mind reader. So whenever I first tackled that, it's by Brene Brown. It's a story that Brene Brown shared. If you don't know Brene Brown, oh my gosh, I have a book by her. It's somewhere on this table. But anyways, Brene Brown is just incredible. And she was telling this story. And she said, me and my husband, we decided to go to the lake with our family on a vacation. And me and my husband, we used to swim a lot in our younger days. And we decided to go for a swim across the lake. And she said, they got down to the dock and she just was feeling it like really romantic and sweet. And she told him, she's like, I'm really happy that we're doing this. He's like, yeah, me too. And they dived into the water and she's like, that's weird. He's usually the more romantic, person, more romantic than me. That's weird. And like midway through the swim, she, the whole time she was swimming, she's like, why did he not want to have that connection with me? So about halfway through the swim, she caught him again. And she's like, this is really nice. I'm really happy. Yeah, good swim. And he just kept swimming. And she's like, what is happening? And so for the rest of their way back to the dock, this story that she's telling herself is, I don't look good in my swimsuit anymore. I can't keep up with my husband swimming. Like, I'm a horrible wife. I'm a horrible mom. Like, he hates me. He's thinking of a divorce. All this crazy stuff. They get back to the dock. They get out of the water. And she remembers something she had learned while studying shame. And she just stopped him. She's like, hey, I need to talk to you for a second, because the story that I'm telling myself is that you don't find me attractive anymore and you're not happy with me. And he said, no, I had a bad dream last night that we were out here in the lake and a speedboat was coming by, and I was trying to get my kids in the boat before the speedboat hit them and killed us all. And he said, so the whole time while we were swimming, I was fighting this panic attack. He's like, that's just all I kept on my head. He said, I don't even remember what you said to me because I was just trying to get back to the dock because of this panic attack that I was having. So that story, what I want you to get from that is just saying the story that I'm telling myself is fill in the blank. So many times, especially with our spouses, that sentence can change everything, just the story that I'm telling myself, or with friends, or with any type of relationship, with your parents, with any type of relationship, the story that I'm telling myself is you fill in the blank. And 9 out of 10 times that person's going to be like, no, no, no. And you're going to find out that it's all a lie that you're telling yourself in your head. And that anger and that frustration can just disappear with a simple conversation. So that kind of goes in with the resentment towards your spouse for not treating you, that, yeah, the story I'm telling myself is fill in the blank. We use that a lot in this. I use that a lot in this house because I expect Chad to be a mind reader 9 out of 10 times. And then I'm like, okay, let me kind of make things a little bit clearer for you. Feeling anxious or guilty when you say no, that's something else you probably deal with. Motivations flip from seeking approval to avoiding disapproval. That's something a people pleaser can kind of see. And then also expectations from others and yourself on others. So those are all different things that you can see sometimes as a people pleaser. I'm going to pull back. Hold on. Let me figure out how to be techy for a second. I still don't know why this thing is not letting me, but okay, share screen. I'm going to share this one more time. Let's see. Will it let me? No. Okay, so this was the 10 commandments. There's also 7 deadly shoulds. I think we have like 5 minutes left. Other people should appreciate and love me because of all the things I do for them. Other people should always like and approve of me because of how hard I work to please them. Other people should never reject or criticize me because I always try to live up to their desires and expectations. Are any of these resonating with you? Other people should be kind and caring to me in return because of how well I treat them. That's putting those expectations on other people. Other people should never hurt me or treat me unfairly because I am so nice to them. There's that nice word again. I want you to know it's okay not to be nice all the time. That may be a belief that we need to take on. It's okay not to be nice all the time. Other people should never leave. Like, you're allowed to have a bad day. I guess that's what I need to say. Other people should never leave or abandon me because of how much I make them need me. You truly believe that as long as they need you, they won't leave or abandon you. Once again, that's a lie. Other people should never be angry with me because I would go to any length to avoid conflict, anger, or confrontation with them. So what I want us to do with these 10 commandments and these 7 deadly shoulds, it's just this exercise. If you feel like this is something that you really need to dive into, like something you're really struggling with, something that's truly holding you back, this is a simple exercise that I've done and it helps so much. So you basically rewrite the 10 commandments and deadly shoulds. Basically, here's some examples of my own. Instead of, I should always do what others want, need, or expect from me, you replace that with your corrected thought, which is, I know that I don't always have to do what others want, need, or expect from me. I can choose to give to certain people when and if I want to do so. Another example, instead of other people should appreciate and love me because of all the things I do for them, you can replace that with, I hope that other people love me for the person that I am rather than what I do for them. When I choose to do nice things for others, I hope they appreciate my efforts. And the last one that I have on here is, instead of other people should always like and approve of me because of how hard I work to please them. That's a big one in network marketing, guys. I see it all the times. There's certain team members that truly just really try to please their leaders, and it's like they don't reach their own success because they're trying to please their leaders. But it happens in relationships and in life in general. We replace that with, I know that it is not reasonable or even possible for other people to always like and approve of me. I would like the people whom I like and respect to reciprocate my feelings. My little warning thing came up there. But I want people to like me because of my values and because I treat others with kindness and respect, and not because of how hard I work to please others. The most important approval I need is my own. And that kind of leads me to just the takeaways. Guys, when you take better care of you, you're going to be able to take better care of people in your life that matter the most. This is kind of, put your oxygen mask on first. When you're flying in a plane, they say if the plane, starts to have trouble and the oxygen masks come down, put yours on first, not your kids, not your, put yours on first so that way you can help the people around you. It's the same thing in life. If you do not keep your cup full, you cannot pour into others. If you do not keep your cup full, you just can't. You cannot do life on empty. If you want to be a better mom, take care of you. If you want to be a better wife, take care of you. If you want to be a better friend, sister, daughter, like whatever, take care of you. The next one, believing 100% that you were made this way on purpose and you are enough right now. Every little quirk about you that maybe you've been picked on or told was weird or whatever, maybe you're too sensitive or you're too loud or you're too out there or whatever it is, you're too spontaneous, guys, no, that is how your creator made you. As soon as you own that and tap into it, we can finally get into all that potential. The whole point of the 14-day challenge, of the VIP group that's launching February 1st, of everything we're doing this year is to get you to be the best version of you, the best version. Understanding that you're made this way on purpose lets us start tapping into that. It's time to love yourself more so you do not require it from others. This is not selfish. You thinking it's selfish to pour into you, you thinking it's selfish to take time for you, that lie has got to end. Knowing that the right people will always love you and everyone is not the right people. So guys, I hope some point in this hit home for you, because as we keep going on this journey to get to that best version of you, that's what it takes. It's just peeling back those layers and figuring out what are the different parts that you need to focus in on. What are the different parts that you need to dig a little bit deeper on? Maybe get a book or listen to a podcast or find a YouTube video. But if we want to get to that best version of you, stop living on autopilot and truly rewrite our systems. First off, I want you to know it's possible. Second off, step up to the plate and let's freaking go. We have so many big things we're trying to accomplish this year. We have the 14-day challenge launching on Sunday. Midnight tomorrow night is the deadline to get in on that, or your team in on that if you want to. We have the VIP group launching February 1st. We have people working one-on-one with us. This is about to get massive. I told somebody the other day, I said, I want to help 1,000 people make $1,000 a month. Like I want to see people just completely blow it out of the water this year. So anyways, I love you guys and I appreciate you more than you will ever know. I'll get this recording out and the quiz out if you're on the email list. If not, just message me if you missed the link to get on it. And I will be talking to you guys soon. Love you, love you, love you. Bye, y'all.